In this video, I'm going to walk through my process for preparing for a wedding. And really, it's the same for any party. I'm choosing a wedding because there's the most moving parts, so I can kind of give you a look at everything I do. I think it might be helpful if you're a DJ preparing, but really I'm doing this because I think this could be really helpful to anybody throwing a party. If you're a bride getting married or a groom or anybody throwing a party, this can help you sort of think about how you plan out your music and how you communicate it with your DJ. So first thing you see, I've got Apple Music open. This used to be called iTunes. Sometimes I still think of it as iTunes, but now it's Apple Music. And the reason I use Apple Music, specifically Apple Music, is I think it's the best tool for this job. There's nothing else I know that lets you so easily organize. So I have this DJ crates. I've got these folders you can see on the left side. Within the DJ crates, I've got a separate folder for cocktails and dinner, dancing, and then the one we're going to focus on, I call it Today. And so I recorded the video before where I kind of went through how I organized the dancing. I use a lot of folders and subfolders. I have these kind of country, electronic, hip hop, Latin, mixed genre, oldies, and pop. Those are sort of my basic overarching genres. And then within like pop, I've got modern and older. Within older, I've got music from the 70s, 80s, 90s. Even within there, it's favorites, funk, pop, disco, favorites, funk, pop, new wave, 90s club, pop, alt rock, Brit pop. And so you can see how I sort of organize the music. That's a whole other video. I've already covered this. I want to focus on today. And so with today, you can see right now it's empty. Everything in these other folders, they're all smart playlists. And so just to recap really quick, something that's, say, in disco, if you look at it, in the comment, I put disco DJ. That is what sorts it specifically into this. Disco or 70s Fire is a separate playlist of like the best of the best. But disco DJ, if I'm doing like an extended mix of disco songs, I can jump to this playlist. So these are all smart playlists, but the Today is specifically not smart playlists because these change with every single event I do. And so there'd be no sense to going in and adding these keywords in the comments because that takes a long time. It's very tedious. And it really is only applicable to one event because this is like a custom made set of playlists for one particular person's party. And you can see here there's a pre-ceremony playlist, ceremony, cocktails, dinner, something I call moments. I'll explain that in a moment. Dancing, must plays, do not plays. And so these are how I break down all the songs. And so what I'm going to do in just a second, I'm going to open up. So it's a Friday right now. Tomorrow I'm DJing a wedding. And I've been gathering all the music, gathering all the playlists. Usually the day before is when I compile everything in because all the time I'll build all these playlists out and then the day before the wedding, the bride will tell me, we've changed this, changed. And now I collect, I accumulate, I prepare everything, but I wait until about a day before to make the final actual build playlists in here. And even then, often I've actually had people, as they're about to get married, come over and say, you know what, we've changed our mind. We'd like to walk down the aisle. And then I've got to quickly pivot and find the new song. But that rarely happens. And so I build these in Apple Music. The other nice thing about Apple Music is I use Serato. That's basically, it's the DJ software. It's what kind of allows you to mimic turntables and records with MP3s and a controller. It's pretty much the industry standard. And it integrates with Apple Music. So anything I build in here, any playlist I create, every time I open Serato, it will scan this and kind of give like an updated, refreshed version. So if I put a song in must play, run Serato, quit Serato, come back to this, put a different song in there, open it up, that change will be reflected there. So Apple Music is just, I think it's super great. So that's why I use it. And so what I'm about to do, I'm going to jump over to the bride's request lists. She sent me some Apple Music lists. She sent me some Spotify. There's a bunch of different stuff, and then just some typed out song lists. And I'm going to start gathering this in here. I'm not going to make you sit through the process. Basically, the way I do that is I go to my songs. Not that anyone would ever. Let's say somebody wanted "Last Match" by the Islanders. Great song. As you can see, I love the Eiler set. No one ever requests that, but if they did, I would physically drag. Is it called? My fingers moving, so I'm being physical. I would physically drag that to whatever. If they, let's say they wanted to drink cocktails, I would drag it in there. Now the cocktail list has Last Match by the Eiler set, which delete it because we're not going to put it in there. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a pre-ceremony list based on her requests. Ceremony is going to be the exact specific songs they want during the ceremony. So typically a family processional, a bride's processional, the couple's recessional, and then sometimes a couple others. I think tomorrow's wedding, I believe there are 5 total ceremony songs. There's 3 before the bride, 3 different songs for groups. We'll find out in a second. Cocktail, it's what they want during cocktail hour. Dinner, what they want during dinner. And for most of these, often they give me nothing at all or just some generic stuff. These lists are really just going to be their requests. I have these whole other playlists here. Like for cocktails, I got all these cocktail playlists. I am going to jump through those and choose the music unless they give me like, play these 30 songs. Then I'll stick to what they want. But cocktails and dinner, pretty obvious. Moments. This is what I mentioned a moment ago. These are all the songs where at this exact moment, this exact song. So it's kind of like the ceremony, but it's basically everything but the ceremony. And so if there is a cake cutting song, a bouquet toss song, a first dance, a father-daughter, a last dance, a private dance, an anniversary, whatever, all of those, we need this song at this time. I keep them one list so that when the time comes, I don't have to jump around and find it. I can just be like, okay, we're cutting the cake. Bam, go to moments. There it is. Play. Dancing. These are all their dance requests. Most people give me some of those. They don't always give me pre-ceremony. All this, they always give me their specific ceremony songs, of course, but pre-ceremony, cocktail, dinner. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Dancing, people almost always give me some dance songs. Those are the ones I put in there, except when they give me must plays. Very obvious. This is where they say, okay, we like this song, this song, this song, but you have to play this song. That's where I put all the have to play it's. And then I also do a list of the do not plays. And the reason being, if I were to open Serato right now, I could show you how so with the start of each event, I do a reset on the history, which doesn't affect the overall history. I can still go back and see what I played 5 years ago, whatever. But it basically turns every song in my library into a you haven't played it today song. And so each time I play a song, the color changes from gray to blue. So if I see a blue song, I know I've already played it. And, usually I can remember. It's not like can't remember if I played a certain song, but it is helpful for that just in case you weren't sure. But I use it so before the party starts, I go through and I play all the do not plays. Obviously before the party starts, I play them so they all turn blue. So just in case I space out and they say, we don't want to hear the chicken dance, whatever. And I'm like, hey, it's time to play the chicken dance. And I go wait, it's blue. I realize, oh, that's right. That's a do not play. So it's kind of a helpful reminder. And for example, the Bride Tomorrow has a pretty long list of do not plays, which are a lot of people's must plays. There are several songs on her do not play that I constantly see on the must play. So she wants to avoid certain songs. I don't want to have to second guess myself or check every time. I just want to know, like one of her do not plays was Ice Ice Baby. So if I go to grab Ice Ice Baby, I want to see that it's blue. And that's going to remind me, like, either I'll think, oh, I already played it, or more likely, like, I didn't play that, but that must be a do not play. So that's how these work. I am now going to open her planning documents and start building these. So I'm in the process of building these crates. I already did the pre-ceremony, which, let's clear this. You can see these are 10 songs they want, and it gives me an idea of the style. None of these are must plays, but it's the kind of music they want, sort of instrumental pop music. Ceremony, these are the 5 songs. These I put in order because I know this is the order in which I'm going to play them. It's processional, I think, for the family, the bridal party, the flower girl, the bride, and then that's the couple's recessional. And now I'm doing the cocktails, and this isn't the most interesting thing, but I thought I'd show me doing it a little. So over here is an Apple Music list that she created of cocktail music. And so I just go through my library. I just put My Girl, so now I'm looking for Frankie Valli. Can't take my eyes off you, so there it is. Drag it to cocktails. If I don't have it, I will hop over and buy it. I think it's important to mention everything in here is music that I have purchased. Some people like to pirate or download stuff, but that's wrong and it's risky too. You can get a big fine for doing that. So always buy your music. Where are we? We're at Etta James at last. And we got Bob James. There's Etta James. Kind of a sneak peek into my library too. You'll see it's a mix. Oops, it's a mix of party music and music Greg likes. I don't play much Elmore James at anybody's parties, but boy, it's good to listen to. Free Fallin' by John Mayer. I may not have John Mayer's live version of Free Fallin'. Let's see. I don't know if I've ever played that before. So here's John Mayer. And no. So I'm going to, I guess you won't see this on the thing, but I'm going to go over here and kind of create a little side list of music I need to buy. Then I'll put it all in the cart, buy it, and drag it in. But in the meanwhile, let's kind of do one more of these here. There's another one, Casey and the Sunshine Band. Keep It Coming Live. I might have that on a record. So this now it's the debate of, do I just pay a couple bucks and buy it, or do I go pull out the record and convert it? But anyway, so that's two songs I'm gonna have to buy, or maybe not. Like, I make a judgment call sometimes too. This is a list of suggested cocktail songs. Maybe I don't need to buy John Mayer's live version of Free Fallin' because I could probably do without it. So that's the other thing too. It's kind of this judgment call. But in any event, once I get this all built, once this cocktail list is full, then I'm going to pull from these as well as other songs that I think fit the spirit and the mood. And that is how I will play the cocktail. Something else to point out, when I do cocktails and dinner, I'm reading the room and mixing just like when I'm playing dance music. I think that's something important that more DJs should do, because that's how you get a lot of feedback. When I'm playing during cocktails, or like all the time during dinner, I'll put something on and I will see a table start singing along to it and bopping their heads, or I'll see people get up and dance to it. That's important, critical, crucial information. Like, now I know that that table is my party table. They're going to dance. I'm going to focus on them when I'm bringing people out. But also, okay, so if that song worked, now in my head I've got 10 other songs that are even better, that are like sort of like dance floor bangers, that I know if they dance to that, they're for sure going to dance to this. So I am mixing and reading the room from the get-go. And that is something that I believe some DJs don't do, and y'all should. So anyway, that's the process. I will come back one more time when it's all done and show you what the finished product looks like. Working away. At this point, this is the do not play. You see what I mean? YMCA, Blurred Lines, Firework, Happy, Funky Town, Single Ladies, Footloose, Ice Ice Cube. These, like, that's a dance mix right there. That's a must playlist for a lot of people. But I get it. Some people are sick of these songs. Some people never liked these songs. So I'm going to do my job, and I'm going to avoid those. So in just a second, I'm going to go down here to the do not play and create the do not playlist. Must plays. I don't know that they gave me any must plays. Yeah, so no must plays, which is fine. I can just, read the room. So I'll do the do not play. I haven't done the dance list, but I got everything else. So I've got the pre-ceremony I showed you guys. I got ceremony. Cocktails are done. I think they had like 41 songs on there. I've got 39. So I'm not gonna buy them. If somebody really wants to hear that, whatever that was, the cover of the Tom Petty song, I can hop online and buy it at the spot. But that's 2 hours and 11 minutes. I'm going to have 60 minutes. I'm not going to have time to play all these anyway. Dinner music, I've got some country. They didn't actually give me a dinner list, but they said they wanted some of this music and then some upbeat country. So I kind of put together this upbeat, fun country mix. Moments. This is what I was talking about. These are the 8 songs that I have to play at an exact time. So the couple's entrance is Forever by Chris Brown. So when they come in, got to have that at that moment. How Sweet It Is, that's the cake cutting, that's their first dance. Father, Daughter, Mother, Son. Gimme, Gimme, Gimme is the bouquet toss. This song, Jubal, which I rarely play, but it's actually kind of a cool song. I usually play this during like brunch sets or something. It's a little more mellow, but they wanted to kick off the dance floor, so that's going to be the open the dance floor song, and then Donna Summer Last Dance is going to be the last dance. If they were doing a private dance, I'd put it down there. If there was anything else, any other moment where they were like, we need this song at this moment, that's what list 5 is all about. Dancing haven't done, must plays they don't have any, and so that's pretty much the process. When I'm done, I will have their dance songs and their do not plays, and then it's all in here. It's in Apple Music. And one other thing, at the very beginning, I was telling you why I like Apple Music. Another very convenient thing about this is I build redundancy into everything I do. So every single piece of equipment, whether it's a speaker or a cable or a microphone, anything I bring to a wedding, I bring an extra. I've got a plan. I've got something. So if whatever it is, if it stops working, I can just grab another one and go. And so if, the worst possible case, the laptop, somebody spills a drink on it or it just shorts it, whatever. It's, it's not even 2 years old, but things break. Laptop doesn't work. Before I go to the event, the morning of an event, while I'm loading the van, I sync everything in Apple Music to both my iPhone and my iPad. And so that way, something goes wrong, I still have my library and all of these playlists. So I've got all of these on 2 other devices that I can run off of. The iPad, I can actually DJ off that if I need to. I've got a cable that splits it so I can cue, and there's like a whole, I hate to do it, it's not easy, but if need be, I can do that. Or worst case, I could actually play off my iPhone. So another reason I use Apple Music is just to have all of this stuff in more than one place. So never had to do it. Knock on laptop, knock on wood, knocking on my desk. But if it came to be, I'd be prepared. So that is how I organize music. It's hopefully a way for you to think about organizing music for your party, so that when you give not every DJ I think has the kind of planning forms and stuff that I have. I showed you this over here where I ask questions about, I don't want to scroll too much because there's names, phone numbers, emails, because I ask that too, like who's giving a toast, who's the officiant, and so don't want to put anybody's info up on the web. But if I were to scroll through this, you'd see a whole bunch of questions I ask to help me figure out what to play. But if your DJ doesn't, or if you are kind of planning your own, whatever reason you might need to use this, I hope this is a helpful video. So that is my music planning process.